What if I told you that one of the greatest mysteries on Earth can only be fully seen from the sky? Hidden within the deserts of southern Peru lie hundreds of enormous drawings stretching across the barren landscape. Some depict giant animals, while others form perfectly straight lines that extend for miles. They were created more than 2,000 years ago by a civilization with no airplanes, no drones, and no way to see the complete designs from above. Yet somehow, their creators produced works of astonishing precision. For decades, these mysterious geoglyphs have fascinated archaeologists, scientists, and explorers alike. Were they messages to the gods, ancient calendars, sacred pathways, or do they hide a purpose humanity still cannot explain? Today, we explore one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries, the Nazca Lines. The Nazca Lines are located in one of the driest places on Earth, the Nazca Desert of southern Peru. Covering nearly 500 square kilometers, the landscape appears empty at first glance. Endless plains of reddish-brown stones stretch toward distant mountains beneath an unforgiving sun. To anyone standing on the ground, the desert seems completely ordinary. But from the sky, an astonishing secret emerges. Hundreds of gigantic figures suddenly appear across the desert floor, revealing shapes so enormous that many are longer than a football field. Giant hummingbirds, monkeys, spiders, whales, condors, hands, trees, and countless perfectly straight lines spread across the landscape like an enormous open-air canvas. The first people to notice unusual markings were travelers during the 16th century, but they could only see small portions of the drawings. It wasn't until airplanes began flying over Peru in the 20th century that the true scale of the Nazca Lines became clear. Pilots looked down and realized the desert itself had become a masterpiece. The discovery immediately raised a question that still puzzles researchers today. Why would an ancient civilization create gigantic images that could barely be recognized from the ground? Archaeologists believe the lines were created by the Nazca civilization between approximately 500 BC and 500 AD. The technique was surprisingly simple. The people removed the dark reddish stones covering the desert surface, exposing the lighter-colored soil beneath. Because the region receives almost no rainfall and very little wind, the exposed ground remained almost untouched for centuries. What seems like fragile artwork has survived for more than 2,000 years, simply because nature rarely disturbs the desert. Some of the figures are breathtaking in both size and precision. The famous hummingbird stretches nearly 100 meters from wing to wing. The spider measures around 45 meters, while the monkey features its famous spiral tail. There are also giant birds, fish, llamas, dogs, flowers, geometric shapes, and thousands of perfectly straight lines extending for kilometers. Even with modern surveying equipment, creating such enormous figures without major mistakes would require extraordinary planning and coordination. This is where the mystery truly begins. The Nazca people possessed no aircraft or modern technology that allowed them to view their designs from above. How did they ensure such enormous drawings remained perfectly proportioned? Some researchers believe they used wooden stakes, ropes, simple measurements, and remarkable mathematical skill. Experiments have shown that large geoglyphs can be created using these methods, yet many remain unconvinced. The accuracy of certain figures continues to inspire debate, leading some to wonder whether we have still not fully understood how they were made. As interest in the Nazca Lines grew, so did the theories surrounding them. Some believed the giant figures were messages to the gods, while others argued they served as ceremonial pathways or marked underground water sources. Each theory is supported by some evidence, yet none answers every question. After decades of research, the true purpose of the Nazca Lines remains one of archaeology's greatest unsolved mysteries. Among all the people who dedicated their lives to studying the Nazca Lines, one name stands above the rest. Maria Reiche, a German mathematician and archaeologist, spent more than 50 years protecting and documenting the mysterious figures. She carefully measured hundreds of geoglyphs, created detailed maps, and fought tirelessly to preserve them from destruction. Reiche believed many of the lines were connected to astronomy. According to her theory, certain geoglyphs aligned with the rising and setting positions of the sun, the moon, and specific stars. If true, the Nazca Lines may have served as a massive astronomical calendar, helping ancient people predict seasonal changes important for agriculture. Although many of her ideas remain debated, her work ensured that the Nazca Lines survived for future generations. In recent decades, modern technology has transformed the investigation. High-resolution satellite imagery, drones, laser scanning, and artificial intelligence have allowed researchers to examine the desert like never before. These methods have uncovered dozens of previously unknown geoglyphs hidden beneath layers of sand and rock. Some are almost invisible from the ground, yet advanced imaging has revealed entirely new animal figures and geometric patterns. Every discovery reminds archaeologists that the Nazca Desert may still be hiding countless secrets beneath its surface. Of course, where mystery exists, extraordinary theories quickly follow. One of the most famous claims suggests that the Nazca Lines were created as landing strips for extraterrestrial visitors. The idea gained popularity after writer Erich von Däniken argued that the enormous straight lines resembled ancient runways, visible only from the sky. Supporters ask a simple question: why create images that can only be fully appreciated from above? While the theory captured the public's imagination, archaeologists have found no scientific evidence supporting extraterrestrial involvement. Most experts agree that the lines were created entirely by human hands. Even without aliens, the achievement remains extraordinary. Imagine organizing hundreds of workers to create enormous figures across an empty desert using nothing more than wooden stakes, ropes, and careful planning. Every line had to remain straight, every curve perfectly proportioned. A single mistake could ruin an entire design stretching hundreds of meters. The Nazca people demonstrated remarkable engineering, mathematical understanding, and artistic vision long before modern surveying equipment existed. Their accomplishments remind us that ancient civilizations were often far more advanced than we once believed. Despite decades of research, one mystery continues to challenge scientists above all others. Why were so many different figures created? Some depict local animals, while others represent creatures found hundreds of kilometers away. Thousands of straight lines intersect with geometric shapes and enormous trapezoids. Were they all created for the same purpose, or did their meaning change over time? Without written records, archaeologists can only compare evidence and develop theories. The complete story may have disappeared forever with the civilization that created these incredible works of art. Today, the Nazca Lines are recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site and remain one of Peru's greatest archaeological treasures. Every year, thousands of visitors fly above the desert to witness the enormous figures with their own eyes. Yet even after decades of research, no single explanation has answered every question. So, who made the Nazca Lines, and why? The honest answer is that we still don't know. We know they were created by the Nazca civilization more than 2,000 years ago. We know they required remarkable planning, precision, and cooperation. But their true purpose remains one of archaeology's greatest unanswered questions. Perhaps they were sacred symbols, astronomical markers, ceremonial pathways, or something we have not yet imagined. Until new evidence emerges, the Nazca Lines will continue to wait beneath the Peruvian sun, guarding one of history's greatest mysteries.